The Silent Room. 3 years ago, I moved into a modest apartment in the quiet part of town. It wasn't much, just a one-bedroom on the third floor of a creaking old building, but it was mine. The landlord warned me about the noise from the apartment next door. The walls are thin, he said, but they're quiet enough most of the time. Except, the apartment next door wasn't occupied. I only realized this a few weeks after moving in, when I casually asked the landlord about the neighbors. He looked at me with mild confusion. "There hasn't been anyone in 3B for years," he said. "We keep it empty because of, well, maintenance issues." But I'd heard the noises. At first, it was faint, a shuffle, a soft thud like someone dropping a shoe. Then, as the nights grew colder, it became clearer. The muffled creak of floorboards, the low hum of a melody, and once, what I could have sworn was the sound of quiet laughter. I told myself it was the building settling, or maybe the pipes, but there was one sound I couldn't explain. Every night, just before I fell asleep, I'd hear the faint scrape of furniture being moved, like someone was dragging a chair across the floor, always in the same deliberate rhythm. By the second month, my curiosity got the better of me. One afternoon, I asked the landlord if I could take a peek inside 3B. He shrugged. "Suit yourself," he said, handing me an old brass key. The door to 3B was stiff, and it took a shove to get it open. The room was cold, colder than it should have been, even for winter. Dust coated every surface, undisturbed. The air was heavy, carrying a faint metallic tang that stung the back of my throat. The apartment was bare except for a single wooden chair in the center of the living room. It faced the far corner, where the wall was stained a dark, uneven gray. I couldn't look at that stain for long. It seemed to pull at me, making the air harder to breathe. I left quickly, shutting the door behind me and locking it tight. That night, the noises were louder. The chair dragging was closer, almost in sync with my heartbeat. I stuffed earplugs in and tried to sleep, but my dreams were strange. I saw the room again, the stain on the wall, and the chair. This time, someone sat in it. A figure, their back to me, their head tilted slightly as if they were listening. When I woke up, my bedroom window was open. I stopped asking questions after that. I stopped listening too. I slept with the radio on, kept my eyes straight ahead when I passed the door to 3B, and pretended everything was normal. But the dreams didn't stop. In them, the figure would turn its head, inch by inch. I never saw its face, always woke up before I could. But last night was different. Last night in the dream, the figure turned fully around. It wasn't faceless. It wasn't even human. Its eyes were black, hollow voids that stared straight at me, and its mouth was wide, impossibly wide, as if frozen mid-scream. I woke to the sound of the chair scraping across the floor. Not in 3B. It was in my living room. This morning, when I opened my bedroom door, the faint scent of metal hung in the air. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but there's something new in the corner of my living room now.